Greetings, everyone. Welcome. We're going to jump into a Theros Beyond Death draft. We don't have the gold for it here, but we got a nice healthy gem stockpile that we're going to use towards some best of one action today. Let's see what happened. Yesterday we had an interesting run. I punted away game one, then we lost game two, and we came back to rattle off a bunch of wins in a row to finish respectably. But I was really thinking about that mistake I made in game one yesterday, where I had been playing around Portent of Betrayal all game because they were showing red, black, steal, and sack stuff. And we were like, oh, well, let's make sure we try and play around them stealing our key thing and sacrificing it, right? And then like on the last turn of the game, I basically stopped playing around it and we lost to it. So it was like, but the way I stopped playing around it was to attack aggressively with everything and not leave back a key blocker. And if I'd left back a key blocker, I feel we would have won that game. And there was another game last week where I did the same thing. So I'm really focused on that right now as a clear leak that I have that I'm going to try and plug. Try to increase my win percentage by recognizing where I'm falling down repeatedly and really make a focus on avoiding that mistake. So I'm just saying it to you now, partly to help reinforce that. And I'm going to try and really think about my attacks, especially at the end game situation, and stop being so hasty with attack alls and make sure I don't need to keep back a chumper to prevent that from happening. Yeah, and we played pretty tight after that GRS. I was overall pretty happy with my play yesterday. That was a glaring game-costing mistake, and that, you know, it's easy to remember the mistakes that cost you the game. It's harder to reinforce and learn lessons from the mistakes that didn't change the outcome. So in a sense, losing yesterday is good in that it really has driven home that I need to get on top of this and think about it. But also just worth noting that it's almost like it takes the sting sometimes of actually flipping the outcome of a game to get you to pay attention to something like that appropriately. So we're going to try that today. And if you're paying attention to your budget, you're going to check out cardkingdom.com for your physical magic needs. Cardkingdom.com is my sponsor. You can see that in the corner there. They are selling you everything you need for your tabletop game, whether it's supplies, singles, or sealed product. And they do it with expert service, incredibly fast shipping, great packaging, and always something cute and fun in the package to make you smile when you open it up as well. And if you have any issues with your order, they're going to take care of you. Their customer service is insano. Appreciate that about them as well. So if you like my stream, like what I'm doing, you can let Card Kingdom know you appreciate their support of what I'm doing by checking them out through my affiliate link down below in the panels. And if you're ever going to buy something from Card Kingdom, remember my stream, come on back here, click that link before you buy, and then they'll know that it was influenced by my stream. And that helps keep this all going and is wins for everybody, right? All right. Thank you, Magnet Man. Didn't you say you were filling out, was it you were working on a cube or was it a commander deck? I think you were saying you had some project you were working on. Hey, Woodrow. All right, we're going to jump in here. Let's get pack one, pick one going, and I'll get out of your way. I've never had the opportunity to first pick Kunoros. Now, we might not. Let's see what else is here. Fateful End might be the better card, being monocolored, although it is red, which is not exactly the place you want to be in this format. So that's really the question. You've got a powerful gold card. It is very counter to the format, though. So creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. So really this turns off escape. And the flavor is great, right? This is the three-headed dog that is guarding the underworld. So of course, if Kunoros is around, creatures can't escape the underworld. So flavor, mwah. However, it's gold. And but it's very good. I think with I can pull this one. Kunos is very strong, and we don't love red is the thing. If red were, if this were an equivalently powered black card and this were a red-white spell, I would take the black card. Color really matters here for me, but I will pull it and see what you all think. So I'm going to call it Dog versus End. And being gem independent, as Dionysus likes to put it, we don't have to take cards for collection building or gems. But if you are curious, we have 3 of 4 here, so it would be completing our playset of Kunoros to take it. Okie doke. That's where I'm at. We might not play this, but we might not play this either. And if we do play this, we're going to be much happier than if we do play this. But we're more likely to play this out of a first pick than this, but this is higher power. Yeah, I've also never had the chance to even, like, try to build around it. And the way you would build around this is actually with this stuff. Like, what you want to do with black-white is auras matter. You want to get enchantment fall. Constellation and auras are where you want to be with black-white. Kunoros, because that is not affected by the underworld part. Like, for example, though, Charger, non-bow, right? So we don't want Chargers here. If we're going to do this thing, we want to focus on this type of stuff, but this is early for that type of stuff. We take Birth of Miletus as whatever. Like, we could take Wayfarer and Wheel Will, though. I don't think this is very good. I mean, it's not bad. It finds a plains. It does replace itself, but it does a bunch of meh. I just don't think this is what we want to be doing. Pious goes along with Kunoros a lot better. Question is, should we just ignore this? Like, let's do this test. If we didn't have this, what would we take? If this was our situation, it's not our situation, but it's worth looking at just to remind ourselves where the power really is. And if we were picking from this spot, probably Fishify, right? So I just want to acknowledge that we think the most powerful card here is probably the Fishify, and we could just take it. But since these both go together and they go with what this does, I'm going to take one of these and try and wheel the other. You like Calliope? I don't love Calliope. Well, Kunoros is it's not a build around, but it's a don't non-bow yourself, Deacon, right? Like, we don't, if we're going to play this, we're not playing Underworld Charger in a deck with Kunoros if we can help it. And besides, so either we're taking the Icky because it's the best card, or we're following this for a little bit, and I'm willing to follow this for a little bit, and I'm going to start with the Wayfarer. Daxos could get it done. Flicker, Harpy, Lampad, all good. We probably just want to take Daxos here. Yeah, like, that's the thing. You want to avoid non-bows, Deacon, but you're right that you would. I mean, it depends. You're just like, but if you're gonna run Kunoros, you're certainly deprioritizing that Underworld Hound, right? Let's take Daxos here, though. It's a little oppressive with the white, as opposed to something like Lampad that only asks 1 black of us. Still nothing here to really pull me off of trying to continue down this path. Typhon is nice. Prophecy is nice. Neither such a signal that we are going to veer off of this path. Pilgrim, awesome to pick up here. Inevitable End would be a nice thing to get with it, but we're going to take the Pilgrim first. Hey, Mama. Glad you made it. Yeah, End is good removal, but Pilgrim will find us our good removal. Like, Pilgrim in black-white is insane because it gets you Myers Grasp, it gets the uncommon we just passed, and it gets you Apathy, among other things. Like, the removal that this picks up is fantastic. We've got a Storyteller here to add to this theme. I like the Blessing. I'd play a Mogus, but it's not a priority. I guess we just take the Storyteller and hope that we make that work in the long run. Porto likes the Blessing. I do believe this is an extremely important card, Porto, so I understand, but I'm going to take the uncommon with a lot of potential through the rest of the draft here. We're early in the draft. We can try and find cards to make this work. And then I think we'll get more chances at Blessing. Can this work with Hound? Yeah, so Omen of the Dead works through Kunaros, so we could still take Omen, but Hierophant probably the pick. But this just jumped out at me as like, oh, does this even work with this? Also, let's note that this is our only black card. Like right now, we could cut this and say, hey, we're wide open. Is there something else here we want to look at? Here there isn't, you know. But like, let's say this was the Red Blessing. Like somehow the Red Blessing we're still here at pick 6. I would abandon the Hound and just get something and try something else with the white. But since there's nothing here to do that, we'll just take the Hierophant. Flicker over Will. Will triggers Wayfarer, so we're going to take that. And also it's findable by Pilgrim. Another Wayfarer, pick 8. All right, we're coming up on heavy white aggro, maybe just a touch of black right now is what we're looking at. But this is amazing. This is great. If we get this, and if we can pick up some more of these, we can really just move in on the strategy, and suddenly it'll feel like we're a constructed deck. Here I like a Temple Thief that we're going to try and not play. We would love to just stay low, mean, and white. But we'll take Thief and see if we need to play it. Wow. We were calling this second best, or best card in the pack. This is quite a signal, or maybe just a signal that the bots don't respect this card at all, but that's weird. We're going to take it and really consider, well, when we open our 18th Dream Trawler in pack 2, we'll take that. Although I can't take the Turtle over the Lampad. This is another great card for... Lampad triggers Wayfarer on turn 2, for example, so we're taking the Lampad for sure. Impending Doom is another quality aura that the bots don't particularly like, and well, we could end up back here too. I mean, I still think we're very likely to stay black to add on to the white, but we now have 2 cards that can at least make us think about it. I'm not sure what I took over wrap, but we're so far away from red. We're far enough away from red that I didn't really register it, but there's a Rise to Glory. That probably means we're done here. I mean, like, we take this and or we could take Archon. I mean, Archon does something similar, but goes into any deck, anything we would play along with the white. Maybe I'll pull this one. I'll take Gems if you want to take the rare Archon for the uncommon number 1, Rise for uncommon number 2, and I'll throw Chimera on there in case you think the flyer is super important. I don't think we're on any other black or white card, even Eyes. So let's see what y'all think of this. Does Rise wheel? Not reliably that I've seen. I don't feel like I've been like, whoa, Rise wheeled, but maybe it has. I think we're probably just on Rise, though, especially if we can find ourselves in Apathy. Get that white common removal aura and get that back. And you're right, Jikerman, but it's pack 2, pick 1. Have some faith. It is the theme of the set, you know? Like, you gotta take some chances in draft and kind of build around. Rise, is it? Oh, that's true. That's a great point. Players, creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. So actually Rise is a non-bow with the Hound. That's a good point. earlier, one of our viewers here was making the point, though, that despite non-bows existing, it doesn't necessarily make it so that you just can't run them. You just recognize that those cards are significantly weaker when they have the potentially to non-bow. Let's see, how did it work out? Rise 22, Archon 10. Yeah, Archon, the non-bow factor and the fact that Archon is available. Maybe we do want Archon. D wants to see the curve. Archon's not a non-bow if you target a non-creature. Right? Or am I missing something? Maybe I let me make sure I'm not getting this wrong. Is that casting it from the graveyard? It's returning it, but it's not casting it. I think it's the difference between the word cast versus the word return. Are we committed to black? Well, that's the other reason we are certainly headed that way. I mean, this is 3 strongish, 1 great and 2 strong and 1 whatever black card, but that's so much better than anything else we've got going on. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it. I know there's the non-bow aspect, but again, also as somebody put it, if we have a non-bow with Rise to Glory because we have a Hound out, we're probably in good shape, unless this gets, you know, pacified or something. Yeah, the Aroan Games card is pretty good. I don't know if it's worth shifting to that, though, from here. This is pretty miserable. There's, like, nothing for us here, so we may as well take gems. How are we doing on that one? Yeah, we have 4 of these already, so this would be gems, which is fine. Probably what we take. I don't like anything else here. Like maybe the Glory Bearers, or if we feel like we could at this point still switch to green. We don't even have a green card yet, though. We're not taking Brawler. Yeah, I'm just taking Storm Herald. Fathers asks how I know how many Storm Heralds I have. I have a tool called Untapped GG plugged in here. I'll even show you if y'all want to see what I see. I'll go to left monitor for a second. So this is the view I have, minus me, of course. And if you click on this, you see in the corner here, Untapped GG, and then it has this draft helper disabled, which I have it off most of the time, but then if I enable it, it puts a little overlay on that not only says that I have collected 4 of 4, but it also tells me that Luis gives us a 3-0 for limited and says a 3-2 haste for 3 is spicy to begin with, and if you have any auras laying around, this can set up some good turns. I don't think this is quite a build around, but keep it in mind when constructing your deck. Anyway, so that's a tool you can get, untapped.gg. But also, really, Storm Herald could be a hedge towards red. You know, if we abandon black for red, we will play Storm Herald in this deck. So let's take it as a, really as adding to the argument to not play black. Some good looking green in this pack, but we're not really close to that. Hero's not great either. Probably just a Revoke or a Pegasus here, not overthink it. I'm gonna go with Peggy. Although I would like a Revoke before this is out. Oh, sorry, thanks. Yeah, let me get to the regular draft view. Favored is exactly what we're doing, so we're going to grab that, try and wheel this Leonin. I'm down for another Will here. We don't have a ton of auras yet, and these are actually really good ones for what we're doing. Will is kind of a whatever card. Like, it's fine, it's not amazing. But when you have 2 Pious Wayfarers and a Favored, I think this actually becomes quite good. So we're going to happily take the Will because it's extra good in this particular deck. And Piper, again, not... I would love to focus on white for our 2-drops. So every Piper and Thief and Lampad that we add here pressures our ability to play Daxos on 2. Because if we could stick to white heavy, we could do something like 10-7. But my decision to go 10-7 on lands hinges on what's going on at 2, really. And if you have any kind of thing going on where we have 2-drops you want to cast in a second color, it's really tough to go 10-7. We're going to take the Piper because, like, really, what else are we doing? I mean, we could take Triumph, but I know this kind of is set up to add auras to it, but nah. We're going to get another Pegasus or whatever. Let's put auras on Sunmane Pegasus, not Thaumaturge Familiar. And we'll take a Piper here. I feel like that artifact flyer is more like for the non-white decks to get something to put their auras on in the air. Yeah, here's just eyes. We can get that with Pilgrim. Pretty good. Red does have, there is a Boros deck that could have been, but I think we just take eyes here. And maybe still could be. Like Omen showing up here? Are we supposed to take Omen and hedge again? Or just take a Glory Bearers? I'm going to pull this one. We haven't seen any good black here. We may get some good black in the next pack, but the only good black we saw was literally our first pick of this pack. It's been dismal now ever since. But Glory Bearers, yeah, here's our curve. We're not doing much at 4 yet, and Glory Bearers does trigger the Wayfarer and any other constellation stuff we have going on. So Glory Bearers is safe and boring, and Omen says maybe. I mean, we could also take Shaman, so I guess I'll throw that in the mix as well. So we got Shaman, Glory, or Omen. What do you think? It's possible we end up cutting Glory Bearers, although we're a little bit spread. Like, if we end up out of black, we'll run the Glory Bearers, that's for sure. Like, in a sense, Glory Bearers is like a safety pick for splashing, but this is or not splashing, switching, and this is a switch. So is this. A couple people wanted the Shaman if we were going to hedge red, but we'll take the Omen and see what this crazy draft tells us to do from here. I guess we want a Courser. This is what I mean. Like, I want to stay heavy white early. This is an enchantment creature, so it triggers our Wayfarers. I'm going to take it over the second Eyes. I guess we get these pretty easy. Maybe I should take a second Eyes. Would we play 2? I don't really love Eyes number 2, though. That's the thing. Boy, Eye Flood is real. You draw 2 Eyes, you are not happy. Really? Yeah. I mean, it's fine. But I am unhappy if I have 2 Eyes. It's rarely what you want. Whereas if we get... I mean, this is what the deck is doing. Fine. Yeah, I'm kind of with Deacon, like... That's true. It's also a ongoing non-bow with the Hound. I'm going to take Courser. Another Omen. Well, decision time. We want to... I guess I'm actually going to take Oread. If we do end up red, we would be happy to have this card, whereas another Temple Thief is very whatever with what we've got going on. If we end up black-white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4... maybe 5, 6. We have 6 early plays, but maybe we do need more even in black-white. Yeah, let's take this. There's just been no black this pack, and the red has been wide open, so I'm going to listen. We'll take this just in case. I get that Oread is not a great aggro card, but it is a it is something that can wear an eyes decently, and it does trigger Wayfarer. I mean, if we end up playing red, we're probably going to be scrapping for playables that we just have to consider this kind of thing. Like, I still think this is better than, for example, a Nyxborn Brute, even though this has some potential. But these trigger turn 1 Wayfarers. This is too many of them, but okay. All right, and back the other way. Although, again, very much a non-bow card with our Kunaros in terms of putting something in the graveyard that we then can't cast, but I think this is too good. Although we do have a Dreadful Apathy and a Banishing Light here. My goodness. Some good green here too, but we're really looking at Apathy, Light, and Lamia. And actually, if we were to take a white card here, it would be Apathy over Banishing Light, because Apathy is findable by Pilgrim. So I'm actually going to pull this one. Lamia or Apathy. And it's not necessarily time to, you know, Dionysus says time to commit. Well, I mean, then you're saying, D, that your vote is for Lamia, because you could absolutely take Apathy and not commit here. That's the whole point. So let's see what you think. Commit-ish via Lamia, or stay open with Apathy. Ready? I'll show you curve also as you think this out. I think Banishing Light is wrong, Razor, because, I mean, Apathy is findable by Pilgrim and Banishing Light isn't. And Apathy is actually more permanent than Banishing Light, because we can eventually exile the thing, whereas Banishing Light sits there waiting to get frickin' revoked or returned to nature at the worst time ever. Yeah, Jikerman makes a call that I want to call out. Playable gems beats everything. Like, if I were on a gem budget, this would not be a question. If we were trying to consider gem EV in our picks, I would just jump on the Lamia, and yeah, if we don't play it, if we end up red, okay, but this would definitely be the pick. All right, everybody sees the power of the Apathy in this deck to keep us flexible and really work well with a lot of stuff we have going on. So I'm with you, chat. Sorry, Lamia, how are we doing on? We only have 2 of 4, so there'd be some collection building there. But again, I'm not too concerned about that. With our pace of play and rate of wins, we are absolutely going to 4x our rares. Mythics are still very hard for me to pass, because Mythics are very tough for us to 4x. If you don't take Mythics when you see them in draft, it can be very tough to find 4x of them through the course of a season. So also, if this were a Mythic, I wouldn't hesitate. But we are going to get our 4x no matter what. So we don't really need to worry about it on this account. And we're going to take the Apathy. Here's another opportunity for collection building and gems. We have 3 of these, so we could take this and fill out our 4 of those. We have a Myers Grasp, which I saw the Envoy and was going to be okay. But Grasp is also searchable by Pilgrim and really starts to push us back towards black. Oracle. You want Oracle? Fathers wants Oracle. I think Fathers, if we end up red, this will actually wheel. And it would be nice if the Envoy wheeled, but we're going to take the Myers Grasp. Too good. I would cut the red cards, except now we found a Blessing, so there's that's a consideration as well. Underworld Breach is... Man, who says the bots don't pass rares? We've had an opportunity for like 7 rares in this draft. Yeah, actually, we took the Storm Herald Hajj in a pack that was empty of anything in white, black in pack 2, and then was like, well, actually, we could play this if we ended up red, and then the red started flowing. So Yeah, I think we have to give up on the red ship is basically sailed. There's the black we have is now too good, I think. And I really don't want to splash for in this deck. We're trying to be aggro to an extent, and you don't want to splash in your aggro. And yeah, take Triton over another rare. Passing a lot of rares. Flicker for possible shenanigans with Dreadful Apathy are nice. If you don't know the trick here, if you have Apathy out and 5 mana up, you can put full control on, activate the 2 and a white to exile the enchanted creature, and then with the exile enchanted creature effect on the stack, you cast Flicker of Fate, targeting your Dreadful Apathy, and the Apathy flicks, comes back onto a different creature, but the exile, the original creature, still happens. So that's the combo there. We are likely to wheel it. It's pick 4, not guaranteed this is going to wheel, but we're probably wheeling the Flicker, and I really just want probably another Hierophant, although it's filling up a graveyard for pretty low value for us. There's a suggestion to take 3-drop Mogus instead. It's possible this is, you know, it's an aura creature, or sorry, an enchantment creature for Wayfarer, and we're not really doing much escape. It's an interesting call. I think Soul Reaper in a vacuum is much worse than Venomous Hierophant in this format. This is usually doing everything you want to do, especially if you're in like black-green. But actually, in this deck, with these Wayfarers and with what we're doing and with this curve, I do like the Soul Reaper here a little bit better. So we're going to take Soul Reaper and try to wheel this Flicker and say, sorry, Venomous, this isn't quite the deck for you. You're not at your best here. We're going to take an enchantment creature. We can't cast Favor if we've got the Hound, and more the non-bows are seeping in. But I don't think we take Libation just because we are afraid of the Favor Hound interaction. So Lizard wants the Libation. I don't know if we have enough removal to make that good. We have Grasp, Apathy. These kind of start to do a removal-ish thing. Yeah, I'm going to take the Favor. Well, here's another Soul Reaper. If I knew this was coming, maybe I don't take that, take this one here. Blood Aspirant's interesting. We'll take another Soul Reaper. Man, a Fateful End. Boy, we got pulled all over the place, and now getting some red regret big time, but we're past red. Yeah, we'll see if that Envoy wheels. We're going to take a Aspect here. Take the Amulet, but again, I don't want to splash in this deck. We want to be much more proactive, and we don't want to hurt ourselves on mana or be clunky early trying to fix our mana. All right, here we got a last fresh pack will. We're pick 8 here. Tactics. We're not really going wide enough for tactics, and we have no heroes on that front. Let's put these back where they belong in curve. And just take a third will. Yeah, I think we might play 3 wills and cut the Aspect. Like, I really like these with the Wayfarers. I think I'm in on Wayfarer will, and I'm really sad. Like, we had 2 Wayfarers pretty early, and we literally never saw another one the rest of the draft. Like, we could be in a spot where we ended up with 5 of these, and I would be pretty thrilled with the way the rest of the deck is put together, but we just never saw any more Wayfarers. But it says, wait. But it's not a, are you sure, Mensch? Because it's not a nombo with players can't cast spells from graveyards. It's not a nombo with that, but I believe it is a nombo with creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, right? It's trying to enter the battlefield from the graveyard. So yes, you're right. It's half. It's not a non-bow on the bottom half, but it's a non-bow on the top half. That being said, we're going to play it. And at this curve, maybe our deck is just done. Like, we take a will and we have like one cut to make from this deck if we go 16 lands in this one. We'll take will. See what else we come up with. There's another aspect. Probably want another land pad, though. How many land pads? Just one land pad. This is a little more control-y feeling, but it actually helps close out games. And I'm not taking, like, we have one eyes. I can pull this one. There's a lot going on here. Here, I'm going to pull, and I'll tell a quick story about how I learned I learned Mensch's important lesson about the internet. All right, so we've got eyes. We've got aspect. I don't think that's the pick, but lamp for lamp pad, and harpy for the harpy. Okay, there's your poll. And a quick aside. So it's the early 1990s, and I am in college in Minnesota. And the internet is, it's not even a thing yet. Actually, we didn't use the word internet in the early 90s. However, this new thing was emerging called Usenet. And I had a Mac Classic sitting on my desk, and this new interconnected computer thing was starting to take off, and it was really cool. And for those of you who don't know the Usenet days, it's kind of like proto-Reddit. Usenet was like proto-Reddit. Reddit is evolved Usenet. And so there was all these different topics that you could choose from. And one of them was like classic rock. There was a classic rock group on Usenet, and I really wanted to know the lyrics to Sympathy, the complete lyrics to Sympathy for the Devil by Rolling Stones. I had, given that this was pre-internet, I couldn't do something like type, what are the lyrics to Sympathy for the Devil, and have them listed for me. For those younger people, this was in the days where we wondered things. There was a time where you would think about something and then just wonder. And you'd wander around wondering, and like your only choice was to keep wondering or like go to the library. Can you believe that? Keep wondering or go to the library were your only choices. Usenet changed that for me, and I could finally ask the internet. And I was very excited to finally get my answer about, and again, it wasn't the internet yet. I could finally ask other people out in the world. And so I went onto Usenet and I created a post. I said, what are the lyrics to Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones? 0 replies. Nobody replied. Nobody said anything. Crickets. And I was like, huh, all right. And I came back a week later and I said, I did a new post. I said, here's what I think the lyrics to Sympathy for the Devil are. And I just wrote out what I heard. I immediately got 1 million people correcting every little thing that I got wrong. And in 10 seconds, I had the complete lyrics to Sympathy for the Devil by Rolling Stones. So yes, if you really want to know something, be wrong about it on the internet and they'll set you straight right quick. All right, back to the draft. Side story over. Oh yeah. Havoc 28 says, I had a song in my head for 10 years before I finally found it. I got it. Okay, another quick aside. I won't take too long on this one, but same thing. There was one time where I did this a lot in my youth. I had one of those boom boxes, and I would record the radio, record pop radio. And so I recorded a stretch of pop radio that had this song on it that I really loved. But in that stretch of radio, they never announced what the song was, and I missed when they did or whatever. And for 10 years, until the internet came to save me, I spent a decade singing, kiss me with your mouth, your love is better than wine. And I did not know, like, having a song stuck in your head for a decade and not knowing what it is, and I would sing it to people and they wouldn't know what it is, and then finally the internet came around and I just typed in the words that I remembered, and it's Stephen Tintin Duffy. Stephen Tintin Duffy, Kiss Me. There you go. Or maybe I can find it here. He's on. No, he does. It's apparently not on my streaming service. But anyway, you can look that up if you wanted. All right, seriously. We'll really draft now, I promise. And oh, I forgot the poll. I polled. What do we want? Harpy? You think we're at Harpy? I like Lamp. I'm going to overrule chat and go Lamp. It was a close vote, but I think Lamp being an enchantment creature and us having some natural escape hate in the Hound makes me just want to take the Lamp. Harpy does wear auras better, but it might wear Pious triggers better, but this actually triggers Pious, so I like that especially. Nothing for us here. It looks like we're out of picks. No Leonin, yeah, that kind of stunk. Yeah, there was definitely, I mean, if we had banked hard into red, we'd have a very playable deck. This is fine, but the red deck would have been fine too. I'm not sure which would have been better, but they're both fine. Oh, another song that was stuck in my head for years, and the internet couldn't even help me for a long time, was a Mr. T rap. Mr. T did a rap in a song from a Beat Street soundtrack that I couldn't track down. Hey, everybody, do you know me? My face is in the papers and on TV. Another one that I had in my head for 15 years before I could track it down. I don't think so, Lizard. I checked it out. Frankly, it's not good enough. If I'm going to be, courageous communication. I really appreciated the effort. Really appreciated the idea. But I don't, well, maybe it's just not me personally. Like, I don't know that movie very well. Like, it's not something that hits a spot for me, I guess. Yeah, when the internet doesn't know something, how about that? Deacon thinks we've been trapped by this Hound. I guess we'll find out. We got 3 cuts to make. Our numbers here, 17-9. Let me get into deck building. Thank you for your tolerance of my asides today. It's been fun already, but sorry if you're anxious to get going. So let's finish this. Let's make some cuts and do exactly that. I think maybe we can cut one of these wills. I do like them a lot with what we're doing here, but we can let one go. Yeah, Deacon, I think, right? I mean, maybe you think red Boros would have been better, but I think they're fairly close here. Someone wants to just cut. Yeah, I think we cut a Thief. Although, yeah. I want to keep the Triton for sure. Yeah, Thief Piper is an interesting pair of cuts. Do we go too low on 2s there? If we cut that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 is, I really want to keep the Piper. It's not great, I acknowledge. Did you find it, David? You went and found the song I was talking about? Hey, everybody. Oh yeah, we're cutting a land, that's right. Yeah, I like cutting a land out of this one. We don't have much in the way of mana sinks, and rises are only 5. Yeah, treating mothers right. He encourages that. Hey everybody, do you know me? My face is in the papers and on TV. I know you know my name because it's easy to spell. So listen, whip a fool to the story I'ma tell. I hates when people think I'm wild just because of my jeans and my new hairstyle. I'm a real nice guy, and I want you to know. So sit the hell down and hear how it go. I like picking daisies and taking them home. And then I kind of lose it. Anyway, there you go. There's Mr. T's rap. It would do a disservice for me to try and imitate Mr. T for 90 seconds or whatever, so I think I like this. We don't have many other options. We can get Temple Thief and Indomitable Will, but I mean, that's, yeah, like if you actually look at what colors we're playing, suddenly our choices are pretty stark. And yeah, let's go with this. Let's get going. Traphound. All right, Paul, what do you want for sleeves? And let's see, we had, I think, Tron on basics, right? Was it Tron on basics? Fancy Art Deco. That would be this. I know Art Deco when I see it. And Tron, did you have lands? What are we doing on lands? I guess Mirage if Tron had lands, but I wasn't 100% we were on lands there. Oops. Yes, we have all the Nyx lands. Oh yeah, the weird stuff we have memorized from school too, Mama. Yeah, how many people can recite at least, you know, half-ish of some poem or play they memorized in high school? I can probably do a lot of Robert Frost's Departmental. An ant across a tablecloth ran into a dormant moth of many times its size. It showed not the least surprise. Thank you all for hanging through the draft. Now let's see what we can do with this thing. I can run a par poll. This is THB Bo1. This is our par poll. We do this when I remember. This is where you tell me how many times you think we would win if we played this event 1,000,000 times. We'll keep this. Courser's a bit sad, but we have a Hound on 3. Wouldn't mind finding a 2. And And we have Daxos, so we should be Plains thinking, but if we draw Daxos, we can't cast them anyway, so I'm going to drop this one. In this case, it doesn't matter, but we should be thinking about it, and we'll definitely run a Plains out next. All right, nothing on 2. Too bad. We have a ton of action in the early game, but haven't found it. We're not going to mulligan a turn 3 Hound. Non-bow in effect. But again, as people have said, lightning rod on this thing, so if anything, we'll probably be using the Rise to Glory to get the Hound back. Alucardio 7, given the purpose of the par poll, which is to say, what is the average number of times we expect to win with this deck if we were to play the event a million times? 7 is not realistic. I really shouldn't even put 6. Honestly, I don't think Ben Stark could have a deck in which he averaged 6 wins. Maybe, but that's what you're talking about at that point. Yes, this is a please block me move, and we're not going to fall for that. Yeah, Omen, Trick, whatever, we're certainly not blocking. We're going to be able to Myers Grasp if they come up with a defense, and we're going to be able to Hierophant if they don't. The open mana is a little nerve-wracking. Unfortunately, we don't have the Indomitable Will. If they have the uncommon deal 3, we're just going to lose this dude, but that's okay. Then we go Venomous Hierophant and hopefully have a sweet Rise to Glory, because Hierophant could mill us an Aura, and then we could get back both sides of this. So I kind of don't mind if they take out the Hound. Let's see if they do. I think if they do, it'll be because they have the deal 3. But also, if they did have, you know, what the one read was the Red Omen, and if they have Red Omen, that would explain the pause. Also, frankly, so does the Oread. So there's no lessons for us in the pausing, but we'll go Hierophant here. It was an Omen, but not the one we thought. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we have Menace. Good reminder to actually read my card. I was so focused on the non-Bowie aspects of the second part, I kind of glossed over that it has Vigilance, Menace, Lifelink. Vigilance, Menace, and Lifelink. Graph Dogger is a good name, Tim knows. I approve. I don't know if you came up with that or saw it somewhere, but Graph Dogger is awesome. Pilgrim to Graveyard. Oh well. Real problem here is that we can't find the white half of our mana. Maybe I should go 9-7 or 9-8 or 9-7? Are we not respecting the white demands of our deck enough with our mana base? They have 2 mana available here, so it's looking like they are setting, maybe they do have the Red Omen still and are looking to do that play. So I'm going to go ahead and Myers Grasp the Oread so that we don't get hit by a Red Omen. Also, if the doggy dies, we can, well, we can rise this back. We can rise the enchantment back regardless, but if the doggy dies, we can rise the Grasp and the dog back. So pretty good spot here, because we're basically saying deal with our Hound or die, and if you deal with our Hound, we're going to get it back and ask you that same question again. Can you deal with this? All right, there's our second Plains. That turns on a bunch of our hand. Oppo has 5 cards and 6 mana of literally any color, so I'm pretty suspicious about our ability to actually connect with these 2 creatures, but let's send them, and we have the Rise to respond if they can come up with a kill here. We don't want to see Exile, but we can handle most other things. Yeah, they got the Exile, so be it. So now I'm going to go ahead and rise both. Might as well. Oh wait, nothing to do. It goes to the battlefield, right? I was thinking hand, but it goes to battlefield, not hand. So sorry, I might have scared the heck out of you guys, but I caught it just at the last minute. Yeah, I have not played Rise before, so I gotta keep in mind this is going to the battlefield. I was thinking, oh, we'll get our grass back for next turn, but nope, that would just kill it. So I'm actually gonna go with the Courser, which if they do have a red omen, survives the red omen. I mean, you'd want to go Daxos into Courser for the life, right? But if we go Courser into Daxos, while we miss the life, we get a 2/4 into a 2/4 as opposed to a 2/2 that can be killed by the Omen. So we're going to do this. We're going to give up a life to make sure that our creatures enter battlefield with toughness higher than 2. They had something for the Courser anyway, so the Daxos is nice there. If we find a Plains specifically, we can even Daxos and Rise. Ah, they did have the Omen. But we made him work hard for it. Good job, team, playing around the Omen. All game. We found a land, but it was not a Plains, so we cannot do both. And we are still in a spot where we don't want to grasp anything, so I'm just going to go Daxos here. I'm going to sandbag the land, though. Oppo got a lot of scries upcoming, so we're really hoping that we do a nice rise to glory and it kind of clinches the game, because Oppo's draws are going to be better than ours for the foreseeable future. We can rise though, at least, so now it's not a fail case. And now the question is, which of these creatures do we want? Pilgrim gets us what? Pilgrim gets us our removal. So I guess we take Pilgrim because then we get another... Although it doesn't attack well. If we want to actually close out this game, we should get the Hierophant. I'm with Deacon. I think we need to go for actual threat level. And then Grasp, we can just kill the 1/1. And now they're on a 2-turn clock after this. Two, 3, 4, 7. I'm going to play the land. No, actually, I don't need to play the land. If we draw action, we can play the land and do both action. Bottom is perfect. That's what we want to see. We want to see Oppo missing on finding answers to our 3/3. Try to keep him on this 2-turn clock. And we could go for the aspect. But if they actually found removal, like something Final Death-like or something, we'd get blown out. Whereas if we just do this and we send in, we get to go Soul Reaper Aspect after combat and see if they actually have something or not. We could also just not play the Aspect and leave Soul Reaper Activation up. Yeah, kind of. If this wasn't an answer and they couldn't play it, it's probably just a land. I'm going to hold up. We don't need the lifelink either, so yeah, I'm going to hold up card draw. I'm going to hold up we get a card if you find an answer. And we're looking for bottom here. Top. Uh-oh. Looks like answers are found. All right, they're going for that one because obviously if these fight, they trade. So they've got to do that, but hopefully we self-sacrifice here and find something worthwhile. Hey, we sure did. Got there, team. Got there. I thought we got there, and then we just decided to really get there instead. All right, nice start. Right back in, go for a second. All right, looks good. Got a Triton on 2. We can eyes it up on 3 if we want. And we've got Apathy into Storyteller. Ooh, me, Nox. I am Nox. That's what we're all about here. You should give me a follow, because that's what we do. Actually, it's not bad. It just means our Rise gets it. Right? We'll find it. Don't worry. We'll get it back. And so we can go Wayfarer, Sentinel's Eyes. Let's do that. And Nox, you check out my YouTube. My YouTube channel has a bunch of playlists, and there's a playlist on there called like Going Optimal on MTG Arena or Optimizing MTG Arena. Anyway, there's a whole playlist of me talking about all the different ways to approach optimization on Arena, so check that out. We could just straight up offer them Mire Triton for both Lampads, but if we drop an Apathy, it allows Wayfarer to at least attack, and then we can exile to get it back. I mean, or maybe I'm just being greedy, and we should just stop worrying about Value Town, Apathy, Storyteller combos, and really just go attack, offer them this trade, and then drop the Storyteller as a 3/4 on this board. So yeah, I you know me, I'm such a value hound that I really want to try and find a way to make this work. But with this board state and situation, I think we offer the Triton trade, see if they want it. All right, I'll see Genesis on a reunion tour. Yeah, I don't even think people think of Genesis as having Peter Gabriel in it at this point. But I would love to. I never saw them in. I have like as the 80s nostalgia acts make the rounds. It really tempts me because I fell in love with all these bands in the 80s, but I had no money to go see concerts, you know? So these are all these bands that I would have loved to have seen when I was younger. Yeah, since they didn't block, we're just going to go with Storyteller. And then we have Apathy for enabling attacks next turn. Yeah, I wonder how many people who say they like Genesis even know that Phil Collins was ever in the band. Well, that hurt. Definitely wanted that Apathy. And drawing a land on top is like, F you, deck. However, they still don't have good blocks on Storyteller or Triton, so we get to attack at least. Nice. Phil Collins was probably a great first show. Those big arena acts were always pretty entertaining. So Lampad is interesting. If we can connect, if we can just connect just with the Triton, we can drop Lampad and basically threaten to win. I mean, we don't get to win this turn because Lampad costs 2, and then we have 3 more to be able to sack. We can get him to 1. So we can get him to 1. Yeah, that's true. We can drop the Lampad, and then maybe it threatens. It does threaten lethal, but they just can see it. We can also Lampad, Lagana. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do this. We're going to Lampad, but we're going to hit the Storyteller so that we can attack with that as well. And now these are 2 good attackers, and they're in a much tougher spot. They could double block and kill, but then they lose the Shepherd, and we'd trade the Shepherd off here. We'd do this to trade the Shepherd off. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, they know that they're not dead because they can both activate the Lampad and we don't have enough to sacrifice, but this is pretty good. I feel like with this 3, we are threatening to untap and do some serious damage. Chesapeake. Oh, man. When was that? What year, Chesapeake? I'm going to play this Plains because we might actually just need to, I guess if we draw a land, it maybe doesn't matter, but it doesn't work on tokens, so it can't just do it forever. They can get a couple of Lampads. No, right? It's non-token? Non-token. Gary's going to make this tougher on us. That's a lot of life right there. Boom. So those of you who don't know, Bumbershoot is kind of your original concert festival. I mean, I'm sure it's not the very first one, but concert festivals are just like America is lousy with concert festivals at this point, but Bumbershoot, one of the early ones, Seattle tradition. Back in the day, it was basically free. It was like $10 for a 3-day city provided just concert extravaganza. It was insane back in the day. Now they charge appropriately, but back in the day, oh my God, anybody could have an incredible weekend for $10. Yeah, there you go. Chesapeake paid 4. Awesome. Nice keepsake. All right. I thought we were in a pretty good shape here, but the Gary coming down has made this super awkward, and we need to find a removal right quick. Maybe that Rise to Glory. That would be good. How about Rise to Glory right now? Ugh. Now they hit us for 4. We go to 6, and then they can rattle off the rest of their creatures for the win. So we are dead here. But they have to... Oh, no, we're not dead. We just have to desperately sacrifice our own creatures in response, which is effectively dead. But maybe we have one more draw. Oh, yeah, they repeat Gary. Yeah, that's fair. I think the repeat of Gary has us pretty good, right? So probably dead, but again, we're gonna make them see it and do it. It seems like a good opponent, and I expect that they will. But we've come this far. Let's make them see it. We have a card in hand. Maybe they get worried about instant speed lifelink or life gain or something like that. I don't know. You never know. Also, frankly, some people are so used to people scooping in spots like this that maybe they get a little nervous about that. Yeah, it has the pips. Their deck makes no sense. What this says to me, I assume what you mean is that we only see black things. We see 2 forests and an unknown shores, so what the heck is going on? What that usually means is that this person is heavy black splashing 2 colors, 2 or more colors. Well, there you go. Like, they could have just won. Maybe they don't have the mana to do it now? Maybe they do. Roars knows the deal here. They could be exploring what we might have. I don't. You can't call it bad manners to play Magic. You know, like if we're showing a card in hand and open mana and a Lampad, there's no. I wouldn't call it BM because we're the ones extending this game, pretending that we have something we can do about this. But we do this. And let's see how much this does. Like, they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have to sack now, and then there's no way we can live. Okay, they got it. We're taking 16 here. We can't beat 16. 16 there. Yeah, that was a little weird way for Oppo to go about it, but we are the ones showing card in hand, so they were just maxing it out to their best of their ability. I totally get it. Almost got there, but that powerful rare turned the corner for them, and then the busted uncommon slammed the door on us. Now, Wilson, I'm pretty sure they were just mostly black with 1 or 2 green cards, and then like probably some, maybe Rise to Glory, something like that. They were just... I think they were splashing a couple of non-black cards in different colors, and that fully explains what they were looking like there. Oh, mana. Oh, Magic. If only we could play Magic a little more often than the game allowed us to. We could keep this. We have a Triton on 2, but we have a Courser that's 2 planes away from being castable, and a Wayfarer that is not really doing anything because of that, and by the time it shows up, what the heck is it even doing? So I'm going to mulligan this out of the sense of even though we have a turn 2 play, nothing else is mixing well with this, so A sad mole. Yeah, oh, great. Let's get 3 planes instead. Getting a little tilty about Magic right now and this damn mana system and the frequency with which we must face these single-colored openers. It's really rough. But we're going to do that and see where we can get. Swamp off the top, and we're actually in decent shape. But we really need a swamp off the top. And boy, if this were a swamp, it would be fine. We got lucky today. Look at what the difference between one swamp off the top is here versus not. Amazing. No, I'd never joined the Shuffler Truthers, but I am on... I'm a game designer, so I'm constantly thinking about the quality of the mana system and its pros and cons. Well, we're getting lucky as sin here. I'm going to go with maximum mana, I think. I guess we could go Daxos. Same amount of power and same effect. And next turn, we're going to Sun Main if we can anyway. And we might get to a point where we can Soul Reap with 3 mana up, which is a nice place to deploy Soul Reaper, and then you can know you can use it. So I'm going to go with Daxos here. I don't think life is our concern, but might as well. That's true. Daxos does leave a Lampad activation up to give us something to use our mana on if it becomes relevant. Now we might play Soul Reaper even if we find a land, because that Wayfarer trigger enables some attacks that we wouldn't have otherwise. Well, turns out no choice anyway. But if we throw this onto the Wayfarer, we can attack with all 3 of our creatures. Could have also just put it on Daxos, and Daxos would have gotten in for 3, and we'd have defenders. So you can make an argument that I should have just put it on Daxos, sent Daxos alone, gotten the 3 in that way, and then had Lampad, had all these 3 back on D. So this is a little bit fancy play, I guess, to enable all 3 to attack when we could effectively expect the same amount of damage but have 2 untapped creatures. So slight suboptimal, but I don't think it's going to matter. Maybe it's correct in the sense that if we can encourage them to attack, that's a good thing. Apathy does work here. War Furnace, the trouble with like Fool Auto's suggestion and that, like, it just, I mean, it helps me. Like, if you all want to, I mean, if the world wants to change Magic to make mana more reliable, I'm down with that, because as a 62-ish win percent player, my win rate would go up. The trouble is, as a game designer, I think that's bad for Magic. I think it's unfortunate that some of the necessary luck that Magic contains is in such a feel-bad way to actually get it deployed, you know? Or to actually experience the variance is more feel-bad than it needs to be. But I don't think you just want to change it to increase, to reduce the variance, or else the top players just get even more winny. We're going to play Pegasus here. We're at 21. We got some time. If we find an enchantment next turn, we can play it, and the Pegasus gets to be 3 power. But if we can connect with the Pegasus, we should be pretty close to being able to burn them out with Lampad. So that's kind of our plan here, is Lampad burn them. And nothing they found here. I think is going to be enough for them to solve that in time. Perfect draw, I think, is Sentinel's Eyes. If we draw Sentinel's Eyes, we spend 1 mana to put it on the Pegasus. The Pegasus becomes 4 damage in the air, and then the 3 leftover mana can be used to finish him off. So Sentinel's Eyes off the top is a win. Any other 1 mana enchantment would be, but oh, Mogus's Favor also. So Mogus's Favor and Sentinel's Eyes give us 2 outs to just win off the top. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. Let's grab one of those. Anyway, we're taking this, though. That's not what I wanted to see. But now they've left themselves with only 2 blockers. We can swing in and get in for 3 for sure. And then they're at 4. But they block. If they block the Lampad, can we win? Oh, 1 blocker, right? Oh, yeah. All right, 1 blocker, 1 blocker. Wow, they attacked? I was thinking this could block. This can't block, so we get in for 4 for sure. And if they block the Lampad, we just win? I think we just win. And do we send the Lampad? Do we lose if they block the Lampad? Sorry for thinking they had a blocker there. I mean, let me just clear out, do this math. Follow this scenario through to the end. So if they block Lampad, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the air, and we sack the Lampad to itself, and that's 6. And that's, so then that doesn't do it. So 6 guaranteed if they block the Lampad. If we don't send the Lampad, they block Mogus, and we get 1, 2, 3 in for sure. And then we can mow down the team, right? So yeah, we do it. We don't send in Lampad. We send in everything but Lampad. And then we have the win by my math. Oh shoot, and then I screwed it up. Sorry. I had my plan and then I failed to execute. I think we'll be okay, but that was a total punt. Sorry. To that end, though, I'm going to go Hierophant here, and then we have a good D. I don't think this is going to cost us, but that was stupid. You heard my plan. I just didn't do it. Just didn't click it. And these are all the little things that make me just so much worse than the best players in the world. I say that a lot when I make little mistakes like that, but I think it's worth calling out. I mean, Marshall had one of Marshall's favorite LR episodes he ever did was the extended interview-based thing where he was exploring the concept of what makes the best players the best and what's the difference between the best in the world and the rest. And he really explored that concept, but it's ultimately tighter play. I really think it's just tighter play. Tighter play and seeing more lines. Maybe it's a streaming mistake. I'm totally capable of doing that off stream, though, just so you know. Yeah, those of you being kind to me about it being a stream, I suppose I'm more likely to do that while streaming, but I'm not going to pretend for a second it's not in my range to do that off air. It's totally in my range. But, you know, and it's probably in Luis Scott Vargas's range. There's some universe in which he makes that mistake maybe sometime, but like what percent of the time? Almost nothing. Whereas like it happens to me a concerning amount of the time, you know? Yeah, sorry, I'm slow rolling Oppo now and I shouldn't. Let's get him. Let's get him dead. Yeah, and I can say old man brain too, but it's not like this wasn't in my range when I was 23, right? It's just a hard game, and that's why we love it. But it's also why I'm not Luis Scott Vargas. Jolo, making sure I do Lampad last and don't double punt. Well, I appreciate the slack. But, you know, it is what it is, and we are all as capable in this game as we are. We're just trying to... The real question is, what can we do to improve? What can we do to reinforce stuff that makes those percentages less likely next time? How do I get my percentage closer to Luis's chances of a mistake there? And that's what I tried to do at the top of the show. I looked back at a couple of at a repeat mistake. Like, I've made the same mistake a couple times in the last week, and I think that's a really valuable learning tool to really stop and absorb the repetition of a mistake as a way to try and reinforce failing, not making that mistake again. How do you go about thinking? Well, actually saying it out loud. Like, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream horn call, I would say go check out what I was talking about before we started drafting, because it is about just saying it out loud to people and acknowledging it and reinforcing it in your brain through thought and speech and community. Oops, that would have been a mistake. We're going to keep this. We don't have anything on a creature on 2, but this is imminently keepable. Opening on a plains now, because if we draw Daxos, it would matter. All right, we found a 2-drop creature. That's great. I certainly don't want to use a Mire's Grasp on a Physician here, so thrilled to have something to do on 2. Jikerman says, I think Magic is complicated enough that it follows that theory that humans have a limit to their short-term memory, 7 things. I'm sure those limits are part of it for sure. Hey, look, we have I didn't realize this until just now, but we have a mythic orange name. That means it is a former coworker of mine. I believe that's Tom Shaw. I think Shaw T is Tom. I think that's a Tom Shaw. Anyway, that's funny. What are we doing here? We could Wayfarer and Sentinels. We could Wayfarer and Indomitable Will. Let's see. I was starting to look at chat, but I need to focus. They also have counter magic up, so that's a possibility. I don't want to go Soul... We could just go Soul Reaper. If they countered Soul Reaper, that wouldn't be the worst. I'll start with an attack. We also have Indomitable Will if they come up with something I'm not expecting here. Oh yeah, you're almost like Speckled Trouts. You're talking about the greatest moment Magic can ever provide you, which is someone giving you a premature good game and then you go on to beat them. That's why we play, really. All right, we're gonna try Soul Reaper here. Well, who knows why a wizard? This person might be on their day off. Maybe they're just trying something on. Oh, well, we're just going to... Well, we could sack the... Nah, we just gotta let it happen, right? Or we can Rise to Glory it back. That's fine. As usual, the best thing to do with this is just let it happen. All right, now we're going Wayfarer... Sentinel's Eyes on Lampad. Now, they're not going to block, I don't think, but I'll save the Will. We could kill the Physician while it can't really do much on the board, but I think we can save. If we sack Mogus to itself, do we draw an extra card? Why would we? I don't understand. So we have an interesting play here. I'm going to send in... Ooh, Aspect is nice, though. My plan here was going to be to send in the land pad, expect them to block with the Witness at least. And if they block with the Witness, Indomitable Will turns our land pad with the Wayfarer into a 4/6, and it would dominate combat. I still think I'm going to start with that, actually. And we'll strip their hand if they choose not to block the land pad. I think it's too good to try the Indomitable Will play. Especially since with the Vigilance, it looks like a free attack. Yeah, double block will kill it, but no, it wouldn't actually. We'd have 6 toughness, and we'd be facing 5 damage. So that would have worked. Yeah, we also can just not kill the Physician if we wanted to do that, but it didn't even matter that way. All right, we're gonna Lamprey here. Missed out on 2 damage, but it was worth it to try and get him with the Will trick. Oh, sorry, 1 damage. This has an extra power to it. This doesn't. Well, we got Gary, so must have something pretty powerful behind, although Gary doesn't do too much on this board, so maybe it was just a situation where this wasn't Gary's best time. If they kill our land pad, we do get to rise to glory off of 1 more land, and we get at least Soul Reaper and one of our beneficial auras. But they are spending their turn digging, which is great for us. It's not like we have a commanding lead at 14 in terms of life total, so those cards are likely to help, but finding land is nice. And we're in the same spot we were last time, this time with lifelink. I think they probably have to block. And I'm gonna go for the same play we tried last time. And they kind of have to block there, because if they don't, like, why aren't they attacking with Witness if they're not going to block with Witness? And let me make sure the math is right. They've got 1, but they're probably tapped out. So we go Indomitable Will. It gets a natural 3/6 status. 3/6. Then this hits and makes it actually, so I was wrong. It's a 4/7. 4/7 is plenty good. So yeah, we can go with this. And we didn't need to put on full control to adjust our damage because we couldn't kill the Physician anyway, so it didn't matter. We could Myers Grasp it, but again, I'm not going to do that. We're gonna wait and use this on something more relevant, and then we can use it again with Rise to Glory. So we could get Lampreed here pretty effectively. This would suck to have to discard these 2, but still gives us a nice spot on board. All right, that's what I was hoping they'd do, go for the Charger. That makes it a 5/5, but it can't block, so we still get clean attacks in. Yeah, maybe we just grasp the Thief that can actually block. More land. Doesn't really allow us to do anything, although we can rise and activate Lampad once, but we're not going to do that because we have a Myers Grasp we want to use. Yeah, we're going to grasp the Thief. That's going to give us a Wayfarer pump. And then we pump the Wayfarer, and it has an attack now, and we continue marching towards what we hope is a win. If they can not disrupt our hand on their next turn, we also have a fantastic turn next turn, even if nothing else changes. As long as we keep these in the graveyard and this in hand, we've got Mire's Grasp and Mogus next turn. If the board stalls, we're likely to be dumping our hand rather than just holding cards to save for that, I think. I mean, they played the Charger, but it's not even it doesn't do anything. They can't attack into 6 toughness lifelink effectively, and they can't block with it, so it's... They brought it back, but right now it's doing literal 0. And we're going to Rise to Glory and only get the Soul Reaper back, but we are going to go ahead and put -3/-3 on Gary. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I remember that name as Tom Shaw, but yeah. I'm making them both 3. I thought that was the best way to approach this. And unlikely this swamp is going to matter, but it does give us 2 Lampad activations, so I'll play it. Omen only gets back Thief right now, so that gives him a blocker, but hopefully not enough. Of course, if they have every Gary ever printed, that's pretty good. Oh, they got Gary back. Sorry. I was thinking... I thought this was the only thing in the yard, but Gary was discarded earlier. That's right. Snap comeback for Oppo. Good job, Tom. Yeah, I worked with Tom. Tom's a producer at Wizards, and I worked directly with him when I was there. So, hey, Tom. Ooh, Indomitable Will is nice. Can we get him? How can we get him with this? Yeah, I think we just attack, and we've got great options with the Will. Well, let's see. We can make something extra big. Yeah, I'm just gonna trust it. We're gonna send in and will ourselves to victory. Hey, Dylan, how goes? Yeah, maybe I should have sent the Pious. That's true. Shoot. Should have thought it through. I'll put it on the Pious to keep it alive. Because you can pump me for that. I'm being lazy. Honestly, folks, I'm being lazy. I just assumed that I'd be okay shipping with the Will in hand and didn't give it as much attention as I should. I can pump it to survive, but we didn't want to send it. We'd rather put the damage elsewhere. I'm going to save it, but we'd be happier. Like, let's say we'd left the Wayfarer back. We send in these right now. Maybe they put Soul Reaper, like maybe they do something, in which case we could get either of these to 4 power and take out Gary. As it is, we can't get either to 4 power. So now our choice is like save the Wayfarer or not, but we're going to save it. We're going to save it and get 1 extra point of damage in at least. I like having it on... I guess we could have done it over here, but I actually like making the Wayfarer a little bigger. Oh, you don't like it on the Wayfarer? I kind of like it. I like having the Wayfarer permanently bigger, but maybe you like it elsewhere. But maybe that's something I just didn't think through enough, too. But this just creates a nice spread of kind of evenly sized creatures, which was my heuristic, but maybe not the correct one. But that's the heuristic I was using there. How do we miss a life? Oh, life link, right? Yeah. I should have put it on life linker. Good call. Oh, yeah, we should draw. Let's see. We can draw or... Yeah, let's draw. Sentinel's Eyes comes back to us, so that's nice. All right. Not the worst ever. Let's see. We have a 2/4. We make it a 3/5. Unfortunately, that's not a 6. We would love 6. Yeah, I guess we should make Daxo 6, right? That gives us a better chance. But we'll put the eyes on the Daxos. And yeah, we'll make this as... We'll send in the Wayfarer and make it big here. Wait, does Daxos get to 6? How does it... Oh, yeah, it does get to 6. Okay. Because it gets 1 from... Oh, wait. We want... Yeah... Take Aspect. We do have Lagana Band Storyteller, but I think I would rather have the Will than the Aspect there. No reason to attack with the Mogus, though. Yeah, not super excited here knowing that Tom is about to draw his top choice. Yeah, I should have... You're right. This would have been the thing to exile. If I had done that perfectly, we would have probably Lamprey and Will. Because the only graveyard recursion we have now is the Storyteller. So AVB has it correct there. Again, little leaks. I'm just full of little leaks that the best players are not. It's not a big deal, right? But it goes exactly to the kind of the point I'm talking about. Like, we don't think we're that far off from the best of the best, but boy, you got to tighten up all these tiny little holes in your game before you can get there. That's true. I was thinking Storyteller was getting auras, but it gets enchantment. So we can get enchantment creatures back too. So it's also possible we should probably have... I guess I think even Timnos probably has it correct that our best would be Lampad and Indomitable Will in the yard to have options. So... sending one enables the other. Like, basically, we can block the Charger, but that means we can't block the Physician. So Tom is just working the angle to get... We could just eat the Physician, though. I mean, we know what they have here. Why don't we just take 5 and eat that Physician? I think we'll do that. Like, how can I be punished? Anybody see any way this punishes me? I think we just get a free Physician and move on with our lives with this block. Yeah, maybe they're setting up a big Gary. That's possible. there's that storyteller, putting us exactly to the test. Making us, yeah, like, how about that? Where's Timnos? Good job, Timnos. If Timnos were piloting, we'd be in great shape right now because we'd be able to get this land pad back on top of library with Oppo at 3. So let's try to win anyway, though. We can get the will back. We can also attack. If we can... Yeah, his clock is pretty good, and if he's drawing Gary, that's a big concern, because they can go Devour plus Gary here. So we should try and get some life back with the Storyteller. We can get at least 2. And I think we're happy with... Yeah, I'm going to send everything. I'm out of hourglasses, so I don't have too much time to process this all the way through, but I think we have to send all and recover some life and defense with Storyteller, because we send all, we'll have Daxos and we'll have Storyteller on D. Also, Lampad is to top of deck. I'm not sure what you mean by that. That's the screw up I was talking about. If I'd done what Timno said, we'd have Lampad in the yard and be threatening to win right now. As it is, it's a little more complicated, but we're not done for. Well, keep in mind, Laganaban doesn't bring it to hand. It puts it on top of library, so even if we had done it right, we still have to fade the turn. And Soul Reap, given the Lagana band, I'm going to let trade, and then we can get the Soul Reap back, and that gets more life. Oh, we don't have Myers. We don't have Myers to get back. I don't know what Meyer we're getting back, but we're gonna do this, right? It will be. Where's the... Oh, right here. Yeah. Gotcha. Sorry. Awesome. Well, so... Okay, now then... Yeah, we should still trade, though. I'm going to trade these off because we don't want... Okay, they're going to do that. Now putting us to the test. So we'll sack here. No! Come on. At least let me have a main phase. Can I have a main phase, please? Oh, they didn't let me have a main phase. Clock. Honestly, these are the mistakes that I'm least concerned about. I know it can in some ways be the most tilting, but they're the mistakes I can do the least about, right? I mean, I can try and play faster or whatever, but as brutal as it was, they're easier on my salt, easier on my sodium content than my strategic mistakes for sure. There's no feedback for Tom, right? I mean, we're just... we're at the mercy of our own clock, and that's what we did. The question is, do we block here? We have to. They might have Gary. They might have an ability to kill this, but we can't not block. If they have Gary and we didn't block, we'd just be dead. Yeah, the mechanic's fine. I just screwed it up, right? It's okay. Here, though, they still have the forced block. If they activate, they have 2 activations here, so they can get this up to 4 power, and none of these are enchantments, so we can't make anything bigger here. But if they do double block and kill the Wayfarer... Like, it almost means we don't have attacks here. Because they block here, they bounce here, and then they literally kill here, right? Because they make this a 4/3 and it eats our 2/4, and 9 of these trigger. So we don't have attacks. We're gonna go Wayfarer and Storyteller and try to set up attacks next turn, which we should have. Like, and the life gain is certainly useful there as well. But we'll just take the Mire's Grasp, get some extra life, get a removal spell on top of our library, and hope that we can bail myself bail me out of this game. Which I have not piloted to to my best self. But again, some of it annoying me, some of it like, that's life. And certainly being out of hourglasses in this kind of spot is more of a streaming thing. Certainly if I were not streaming, I think I would have hourglasses to work with on that turn. But yeah, can't sweat the stuff that you can't do much to correct. Just got to live with that. All right. Now they can only pump the Devourer once, so we're going to shrink down the Wave Rider and try and call this a ball game. That's true, but Mire's Grasp creates another unblocked attacker eagle, so I think that's fine. Two Wayfarer pumps. We'll spread it around. We make 3 threats with 3 power. And 3 threats with 3 power means something gets through for lethal. Pay no attention to how ugly it was. No, you can pay attention to how ugly it was. I do. That's how we get better, right? GG Shaw. I should actually, oops, if I can go. Oops, no, not graphics. I'm going to go gameplay. And give him a good game. Just because I normally don't do this, but I know Tom. So I'm only giving him a good game because, as the winner, because I know him. And hopefully I didn't miss something and get the embarrassing, actually, Ryan, I win moment, but I think we got there. GG Tom, give me some extra hourglasses, man. Go tell him to prioritize that all human pods. Let's shout suggestions at Tom real quick, because maybe Tom will watch this replay or something. So this is your chance to type in suggestions for a producer on the arena team. Yeah. That takes us back to the, like, my original, what we thought was a minor mistake, right? Like that was actually kind of perfect with the subject of today's stream that keeps coming up, because in that spot I made a small mistake. I quickly chose what to exile to bring back our, what is it, Sentinel's Eyes? I escaped Sentinel's Eyes and I exiled 2 things that were incorrect. Well, 1 thing that was incorrect for sure. And it cost us time. It gave Tom time to try and win that game. Whereas if we had left the Lampad in the yard, we would have won 3 or 4 turns earlier. Man. All right. So anyway, that was a tight one. Tighter than it needed to be, but we did get there. Let's get back in. We have a Daxos and a Plains, and we're going to keep this and open on Plains. Probably doesn't matter. I think we'll go Triton on turn 2 anyway, but it's nice to have, or at least we can at least see that we play planes first to give ourselves the most options. If we do get a planes, there's actually a good argument for, let's say we drew a planes here. I would actually go planes Daxos, because then next turn we could go Mire Triton, Sentinel's Eyes, Daxos. We didn't get there though, so I'm just going to go Mire Triton, of course. Still Swamps. Not exactly what we wanted to see. We can throw a Sentinel's Eyes and create attacks, but not really. It becomes a 3-2 and then just dies the Towering Wave anyway. I am going to ship the Triton and offer this trade, as sad as it is, and then we'll drop Soul Reaper and see what kind... Let's see if they mill us or mill themselves. I assume they're going to block here. If they were green, like if they showed us Forest, maybe I don't trade off the Triton because it could pick up a big green beastie, but against blue-white, I don't know how much value we're going to get out of the Triton, so I like doing that. And we self-milled. Unfortunately, we are never getting this Rise back. We have no ways to get sorceries back. Oh, they revealed Insight. Too bad. Yeah, we don't get anything back. We can't get anything back with Storyteller right now, so I don't like using it. Although we could attack... No, they're not going to do anything there. We could just play it. We could play it as a 4-3. I kind of like favor Sentinel. Let's move in on the Soul Reaper and just get big. Somewhat all in, but I don't know what else we're doing. And at least if this fails, we have a Storyteller to get some of it back. We also have something that currently blocks a Insight. Yeah, we went all in and got a little punished. I'm not surprised, but we took our chances. Here, we can self-sacrifice, which we should probably do before they get an Insight, or before they can make us exile. So I'm going to do this and then Daxos. Unfortunately, Daxos means... Wait. Let's do it this way. I'm going to play Daxos so that it shows a 2-3 at least. And if they activate, we can do it in response. And then we show a 2-3. Which could change how they play this turn. All right, it did work. We're gonna, just so you know, like this is fiddly magic stuff. I don't know if all you know this, but the colon is so important in activated abilities. So you see how it says 2 and a black, sacrifice a creature, colon, draw a card. That means the opponent cannot mess with us paying a cost, which means the opponent cannot respond to us sacrificing a creature to do this. Whereas their effect is 2 and a white, colon, exile enchanted creature. So if they do theirs, we get to respond, but if we do ours, they do not get to respond. It's a important distinction that experienced Magic players know, but is one of those fiddly rules things that can be hard for newer players to process. Everything before the colon is a cost, and paying costs cannot be messed with. That's why Yeah, exactly, Eagle, right? But it's part of the cost. I mean, I lose some games due to being distracted by streaming, but I also win some games because people watching me keep me from making big mistakes. So there's that. Now we can Sentinel's Eyes Daxos. That's pretty good. I like starting there. Let's see if they've got it. Now I'm going to think. We got Rise to Glory that we can't get back. We can get literally everything else back. I don't think the Triton... I think Triton matters the least, so we're going to get rid of Triton. Well, actually, we can't get Triton. We can only get enchantments back, so these are definitely correct, because Rise was our only ability to get non-enchantment creatures back, so Triton is not recoverable either. Everything before the colon is a cost and cannot be responded to. Everything after the colon is an effect, goes on the stack, and can be responded to. No response pre-colon, response post-colon. Really pushed it on that one. Riptide. All right, we're going to be bouncing. I'm going to go Storyteller, put Mogus on top. I think that's correct. Oh, they're both Mogus. I meant Soul Reaper of. Yeah, War Furnace. I think Soul Reaper is good enough to put on top. Especially since we get, well, maybe we get the life anyway. But yeah, I think that's a worthy draw. Uh-oh, they're going to get a card here. But fear not, while they're going to get a card off of the Staggering Insight, it is only replacing itself. So here's the Staggering Insight replacing itself, and now we're going to Apathy it, and so they won't get any more out of it. Yeah, it could be a deny. Let's actually to that point, Haj, since if they have a deny and they know about our Soul Reaper, they may just counter it because they can. They also may have something, they may be able to revoke the Apathy if we do it this way, but I think it's more important to play around the deny by leading with Soul Reaper and following with Apathy than to play around Revoke or Mantle, play around Revoke with opening on Apathy. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong here, but we're going to start with the Soul Reaper. No response at all from Oppo, so that probably means this is going to land just fine. And we do have attacks. Really hope they don't have Revoke. It would be quite unfortunate if they find removal for our aura. If we can untap and get rid of this thing, then we should be okay. Well, Fishify is going to make for a small Daxos, but we get to sack him for a card anyway, and we still get the Sentinel's Eyes back on whatever's left at that point. And we can sack and still exile Goal, so I'm going to start with the... Well, hold on, let's think about it, because it is a 1-2, so maybe we want to sacrifice this after it's done something else, but it can't really do anything as a 1-2. So I think there is no reason not to just do this now. And take a look at what we get. Hierophant is something we could play. They didn't have anything to save the Goal this turn, so we could press our luck for one more turn and just play this Hierophant. Yeah, I could have swung first, but they I just assumed they were not, like, we could have swung first, but they're also, we could have found something that we wanted to use before combat. So that's why I did it that way. I'm going to go with the Hierophant play. We're going to go shields down for another turn. And shields down on them potentially unlocking their goal. It would be really bad for us if they find a way to unlock the goal, but we're taking the chance. Sentry's big, but we get to put Sentinel's Eyes on the Hierophant and make it a 4/4 Vigilant Death Toucher. They can still win combat, but they got to trade a lot to do it. Interesting, they're just giving us the Wave Mystic if we want it for a few cards. Probably do. If we put Favor on the Hierophant, and, well, then... yeah, Sentry, if we leave this at 3 toughness, the Sentry is a 1 trade, and we don't want to do that. Yeah, we at least want to make him double block. Gotta do something here. I'm gonna do this, we're gonna choose this, and we're gonna go this, this, submit. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm gonna say no attacks for them. No attacks, but I think I'll put the eyes on the Hierophant. But I don't think... yeah, I know the timer. I don't know if I want to, quote, waste this here. Well, we can exile the goal and Sentinel's Eyes. I like keeping the mana up here because we can, again, respond to the attempt to free up the goal by exiling it, but we cannot respond to... but I also want to be able to respond to a dead creature with a card draw. We can attack... we can't really attack decently, I would say. Like, yes, we offer a trade there. Now, well, now I regret not attacking because this is a much worse spot, but we are going to go ahead and... sacrifice a creature before it becomes an enchantment. A hound, you say? Well, I guess we better cast stuff from our graveyard before bringing out that hound. We have 4 cards in the yard. We only get 1 of these. I guess we put Sentinel's Eyes on Storyteller, get a big Storyteller, and then we drop Kunoros. Because you Soul Reap in response, D. We can only choose Eyes or Favor. We couldn't do both, and I went with Eyes. Rob. That's Trouble Town. This could be where we pick up another loss with, oh, they're not attacking though, so I guess they're a little worried. What do you... Dionysus, this is pretty simple magic that you're failing to process. Come on, man. So, I have a Soul Reaper, and you target it with Final Death, which says Exile, and in response, I sacrifice the Soul Reaper. It goes into graveyard, and the Exile effect fizzles. Yeah, that's the magic of the stack. Once it goes on the stack, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you take away the thing that made it. It's still going to happen. Okay, sorry. Let's focus here. Do we have any way to win here? Fortunately, Oppo is not attacking us with the... oh, look, Oppo reminding me that I need to put disable emotes back on. Thank you, Oppo. F you. Man, there is nothing that will make me play slower against you than you chatting, emoting your go at me. Like, yeah. You want to make me not care about my pace of play on a timer-based system? Yeah. That'll do it. Not going well, but Oppo's not attacking, so that's something. Yep, Pegasus is a great answer. Apathy is here, but how do we get it back? I think this is our only way to get it back. So Apathy's now done for, unfortunately. Library 14 to 16, so we're behind on the library race right now, and drawing not gasoline. A grasp. What can we do with that? We reduce Rumbling Sentry down to a 2/5, and a 2/5 is close to good, is close to useful, close to what we want. What else do we have to even stop it? Will... And that's like it. We can't favor anything because of the Hound. Yeah, I think we have to say no play here. Pegasus is our only out as far as I can tell right now. Maybe there's some... Indomitable Will. If we get Indomitable Will and Mire's Grasp, we might be able to combine to find a way to attack into that sentry. It's possible Oppo doesn't count libraries and starts drawing cards. They're playing blue. New plan for the Mire's Grasp. They only get one, thanks to the doggy. All right, well, now they're putting us to an uncomfortable test. Although, honestly, if they attack successfully a couple times, they get ahead on cards. So we kind of want that. But the trouble is we don't really have a way to not die to a 6/9 first strike lifelinker. A lot going on here. Yeah, we're going to grasp it, sure. It's going to become a 3/6, which is enough to, I guess, bounce off. And they didn't attack. I'm really just thankful they didn't do even the one attack there. And we got the Indomitable Will, which we were saying could potentially allow us to attack into it, but that was before they put the insight on it. That being said, we'll start with the grasp.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
And Tuco closing in on a long time of, well, almost a half a year. You're almost a year and a half, you mean, right? 3 months, year and a quarter. Year and a quarter for Nantuko. Or maybe you're talking about me. Like, yeah. All right, so if we have Indomitable Will and we throw it on, what? We can make a sudden 4/6 out of the Hound. And that would likely take out, like if we suddenly made a 4/6 Hound, they would put, it wouldn't do anything at first though. So yeah, nothing to do yet. I'm going to play a Plains and pass. Yeah, 5/7 takes out the turtle, but it doesn't take out the sentry, which is our big problem. I want to try and wait until we can do something that gives us some hope to take out a sentry here. If the Hound chips away with Menace, so we make a 4/3, we make a 4/6, but then they just they can block with turtle and sentry. Now, I hear you, Panoramics. Almost. And if we attack with Laguna Band and the Hound, they can then triple block here, and that's not great for us. You like the double attack? Yeah, like, I don't know how that... Yeah, I'm going to say no on the attack here. Yeah, a lot of people buying stuff they don't need for coronavirus. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thanks for the math check. 4/5. My bad. Especially makes it a not good attack. And we'll play a Mogus and pass. Well, what we're looking for is our Pegasus. We still have Peggy outs. Yeah, this is not a card right now because of our Hound. Let's see what they do with this Scry. Ugh. Well, that's no good. We're going to lose our storyteller here. Probably the game. No, this is their second rise to glory. It just they're just getting the one half of it. They know. Yeah, we're gonna sack here. Ultimately, this is still looking to be about the Pegasus somewhere in our deck. We've already checked libraries. They're 2 ahead of us and nothing has changed. I don't even like rolling over the libraries because it shows them that we're looking. But 10 to 9. We do have Pegasus into Lampad as a way to close from 15, but we really need to find the Pegasus pretty soon. That's bad too. Wave Mystic targeting us gets them way ahead, and we can just and there's no way, like, this is not a good card, but one of the things I called out about it from the very beginning is it's pretty unusual to see deals damage as opposed to deals combat damage to a creature, deals combat damage to a player. You know, there's all these restrictions on in this case, it's just damage. So there's literally nothing we can do to stop that from milling us. And kind of makes me want to like it's not about the Mystic though. I'm going to keep this out until we find our Pegasus. When we find our Pegasus, then we can say, all right, let's sack the Hound, favor and eyes and will the Pegasus, and then we actually have a win condition. But there's no need to do it right now. It's stopping their stuff too, so let's do that. Right, sack Doggo, use Mogus, but when it matters. I want you, like, I don't want to do that unless you can tell me what it's getting for us right now. I mean, I guess it gets us closer to the Pegasus. I mean, that's a fair point, but yeah, that's a great point. We can, if we want to do the Hound, let's block the Mystic and then sack the Hound there. Very, very good call, Chunk. Looking for ways to not lose to that Mystic. I'm kind of enjoying talking to you all and knowing that I'm annoying this opponent who has Yorgoed me for the brief window in which I had emotes on. They're up 1. But probably going to be more because I think... yeah, lifelink is... I think they could do it anyway is the thing. Double will. Can we attack yet? Let's see. If we will, we get 4 power added. We get a 7. We get 4 power and 6 toughness. So we get a 7/9. Hey, that actually works. I'm not reveling in it, but I'm not that disappointed. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Right? Don't we have it now? We actually have it. We have +4, +6 to the Hound. And a 7/9 Hound wins against the Sentry. And we don't care if it dies, because then it turns on the other stuff. All right, I think this is actually good. We really didn't see double Indomitable Will as any kind of major possibility here. $5-7? Did I get it wrong? No. We got a Pious Wayfarer. Well, but we're actually trying to win this game with damage. We're not trying to win with library. We're just trying not to lose to library. 5-7 6, 7, so we get it all, but let's put the turtle first anyway. Or maybe we do 1 will here, because if we do 1 will, we get a we get the 5 power, and it doesn't die. So maybe just do the 1 will. Nobody expects the 2nd will, right? We do need to kill the merfolk. Nantuko does have a point. If we don't kill the merfolk, we lose 2 cards now. We're at 7, and then they get to attack again, and we go 5, 4, 3. We go to 3. Yeah, sadly, I think the Haj and Nantuko are right. We need to do it. Well, it's too late to kill the Mystic, not the Turtle, without playing the Will, so we're doing it. Now, don't mill our Pegasus, please. Please. Big moment here. We really need the Peggy. Okay. No Pegasus. Was that a punt? I really wanted the turtle dead too, so I don't know if it was a punt. I think if we think it through, I think I do the same thing there. Well, it was a punt if the best play was to only take out the Mystic and save an Indomitable Will. Didn't we have 2? Or was that our... You said that's our spare, so we're down... Yeah, that was our only lamp pad. Still, I'd rather have the Pegasus. I think we might be able to get this there on Pegasus damage if we draw it now. Okay, okay. Let's see. So what does that leaves us? We have the Wayfarer, Sunmane. There's nothing for us to get with that, unfortunately. Shoot, I thought maybe there was something left, but there's nothing left. Now, at 4, though. Ugh. Let's see. We have Menace, but then they block with this and something else, and then you get a bunch of lifelink. Yeah, we have a major problem in the Sentry, and there's nothing that gets us through it. However, we probably need to sack stuff to the Mogai to find the Pegasus anyway. So at 31 life, we send in looking for trades, card draw, Pegasus, and hope the Pegasus with a bunch of stuff is enough. This has lifelink, so when you think about pressuring them, keep in mind that you're giving them 3 points of lifelink every turn. So tough to pressure them when the net is a life gain for them. But this is actually good because we can do this without them gaining any life. So we're gonna go. Yeah, let's put Soldier first. So that's correct. Then I'm gonna sacrifice Soul Reaper to itself so that they don't gain life. Oh, we really needed that to be the Pegasus. Ugh, it's tough. I guess we do it again. I just don't know how we win with that few attack steps left. Like, we needed to not have to draw again, so we got some extra attack steps. But we just have to now. I think it's over, but I'm gonna, just in case, we're going to sack the Wayfarer and try and find the Pegasus on top. No. Couldn't sack that Wayfarer after combat because it was gonna die. But we can sack this and still get the Pegasus. But again, we get 1 attack step. I don't think we can win in 1 attack step, but maybe, gotta try. Oh man, and I misplayed again because of the rope. I should have gotten the Wayfarer down too, and that could be the difference. That would suck. That was a rope issue though. I'm at 0. Oh, I had an hourglass too. Shoot, if I'd noticed I had an hourglass, I would have done that better. Slight mana screw up there that I don't think I would have made if I weren't streaming, but hourglass, rope, etc. One of the real problems here is that we cannot sack the hound, so so we can get this stuff out there, but we really can't do that. Yeah, bummer. It's over. I like how we played to our outs, closing out this game, though. Yeah, if we're going to send a message, it's got to be a real message, right? Here's the real message, especially for someone complaining about my pace of play. Oh yeah, I should have activated Pegasus. Sorry, CW. All right, we're up against. We've used all of our fouls to give. We are sitting at 3-2. You know, I would love. Oh, I haven't added this to our decks yet, so let's do that. I did attack with the Menace Dog, but it was not enough to win the game. This looks all right. Oh yeah, that's gonna eat a grasp. Destiny Spinner's super good. Okay, here's your definition, okay? Like, I've been trying to avoid the punt discussion happening because I feel like it's the it is the strictly better conversation of Twitch chat, Magic Twitch chat, and I'm trying not to participate. But fine, you jerks, fine, you unconscionable a-holes. I will join your stupid punt discussion. A punt is an unambiguous mistake that is so egregious it causes someone to move their hands to their keyboard. All right, what are we doing? Now let's try and win this game. We got we got a will. Awesome. So let's hope they go for, hey, they'll trade, why wouldn't they trade their Typhon for the Hierophant? They're going to get it back anyway, right? So we're going to go Hierophant and put a will on that if they block. And if not, we get some other stuff we can do. I can't believe they wouldn't block a Typhon, though, because they do get it back, even if we have something. They apparently don't want to make that trade, though. They're going to race. That's fine. We'll go with that. We'll play another Lampad. And we could bring back the Sentinel's Eyes, too. Doesn't do anything much on this board. Although it does... If we, let's see, if we Sentinel's Eyes, we can't... Oh, I should have paid black back so we have Sentinel's Eyes Indomitable Will. I'm going to say no action, though. We have an Indomitable Will if they try to do something fighty or something like that. And if they want to attack with the Typhon, we're pretty okay with a race here. See you, oil can. I know I didn't. I acknowledged that, Angel, already. That I mistapped. It's not going to matter in this case, though, because we weren't going to do anything with both in this case, but I would have liked to have Sentinel's Eyes out. No, I didn't. I mean, it's not it shouldn't be sarcasm. I didn't tap the right mana. I mean, some people think it is. That's what I mean. That's the crazy. The punt discussion is endless because there are people who legit think that any identifiable mistake is a punt, and I say more power to you. Let's go Sentinel's Eyes on the Hierophant, though. A Vigilant Death Toucher is pretty sweet. I could favor it. But we can also favor, how much do we care about this Pegasus? I guess not enough. Like, we do have the play of Indomitable Will, the Lampad, and favor the Pegasus. But I don't think the Pegasus is worth it. I think I want the Indomitable Will as a surprise on the Hierophant. Training, okay, sorry, I was catching up on chat there. No doubt bugging another opponent. Well, unfortunately now we telegraph a trick with attacking with Lampads, and we didn't before. We already used our grasp, so no one-time grasp, but we could do a one-time Rise to Glory if we really, really wanted to get that thing out. And actually, if we got a Rise to Glory, I would attack with the Hierophant, try to trade off for the Typhon, and then bring them both back. Hey, there it is. What do you know? All right. Given that, maybe we do just try everything. With 5, we can do Glory and Rise, or Will and Rise. So I'm sending everything. And now we actually have the Will favor play anyway. We're putting just enough pressure on too that they have to take this seriously, right? They're being cautious. Let's see, what all can we do? We go will on the Lampad. Oh, sorry. I thought I was going to use all my mana, and then I changed my play. I missed a drain there. That was a punt, or that was a mistake. I will let chat decide punts. But what I was thinking, we were going to use Rise to Glory, so I didn't want to use my mana, and then forgot at the last. Then I realized, oh no, we're switching plans and doing Favor, so we actually had the mana, and I should have sacked it. But we'll take this play anyway. Ooh. Major boo there. Which maybe should have seen coming since they did... Oh, no, they did act. Did they activate Lifelink? I can't remember. Maybe that would have been our clue, though, that something was up. We could go ahead and put Favor on the Vigil. Yeah, but we can Myers Grasp next turn, so it should be all right, right? This is all fine. They should be at 8 and we should be at 14, though. We'll see if that matters. Good news, I don't think it matters. But I also think our tournament might be over. Definitely blocking here. Yeah, we're still going to grasp it, but the problem is, of course, it still creates tokens and whatnot. So we're what we need is like, let's see, if we get a Sun Main, we can grasp it, take a turn, play the Sun Main, and then actually have a block. So yeah, Apathy. Apathy is the top deck of our dreams, or even Pilgrim. So we have Pilgrim and Apathy, but we also have some shenanigan type ways to shrink this and then find a flying defender. So there's that. Tournament. Well, there's Standard Tournament, which is the name of it. Actually, the name of an event, or standard event, right? Standard event is what Jay means. When I say tournament, I just mean event. I just mean this here draft. All right, found it. Sorry, I was answering a question in chat and didn't realize we have a fist pump. I love Dionysus decides on some sort of pump 12 years ago and is punting me as we draw the best card in our like one of the best things we could have possibly hoped for. Punt. We could still play Eyes, but not to any great effect. But better than nothing, I guess. Do we want on Pilgrim? Now let's make an extra big 3/6. Actually, I'm going to wait a second now, because we do have Favor and we have Rise. So if I Sentinel's Eyes, we have to give up some of our action. Is there 2 that we're willing to give up? We'd have to give up, we want the Grasp, so then we're talking about giving up Lampad and Hierophant. I actually don't want to do that yet, I take it back. Wish we could do something about their Typhon that's coming back. Yeah, there's too much here that we might need later, given our rise, so... Especially, like, the Hierophant needs to keep the Typhon at bay. I don't think we're going to put eyes on the Hierophant because we want to trade it off for the Typhon. But we can put eyes on our Pegasus when we get there. Right, Pegasus? Yeah! But we maybe wait on that and... Yeah, that's a good point. We can go Pegasus, and then let's go Pegasus, Apathy activation, chump Typhon with Pilgrim. Oh, yeah, they're playing Flicker, so I should have done that while shields were down. Great point. I was thinking in terms of, like, counter magic and being able to respond to stuff, because we do have a Vigil, so we would want to be able to sacrifice our stuff and gain life, but not worth the Flicker risk that I took. Now we're in it, though. Now they have, if they have the Flicker, they have it. So I've already done that, and we're taking that risk whether we want to or not. And I could have drained there as well. Why didn't I? I'm totally out of sorts, I guess, is the bottom line. Totally out of sorts now. Well, no, because we still want to exile that. That's why. Jeez. My human brain, right? Well, there's still no reason to do it now. Because if they have the Flicker, let's say they have the Flicker, they might still do something to tap out. Yeah, it was correct. I thought I punted again, but I didn't. It was my heuristic in the head was correct this time. Let's do this. Let's just do it now. Shields are plenty down. All right. We have, what are we bringing back? We can bring back a Pilgrim, which gets us what else? Just checking. We're at 0 hourglasses. We've got to make this quick. We have Aspect of Lamprey. We have Indomitable Will. Oh, wait. This is screwed up. It's not, I don't think it's got my library correct. All right, let's go Pegasus and Apathy, yeah. There was a potential reason to bring back the Pilgrim to, like, find a different aura, but no, we want Pegasus and Apathy, which is why we need Apathy and not something else. And let's not make this mistake again. I'm just going to exile now. That was a good turn. Maybe it gets us. Let's see what they've got. We're going to suit up Pegasus big time from here and hope it's enough. Should be a 2-turn clock. Gotta let him have this, though. We're about to get a lot of lifelink, so if the Pegasus survives... Oh! No if for us. Good game, Oppo. Kept thinking we had you, but then back and forth, back and forth. It's probably going to be the final blow. Probably. We're not out of it yet, though. I mean, we did take out their big, you know, really tough to deal with threat. This is gone, at least. So we still have blocks and stuff. I think it's...
Your friend is only mostly dead.
We're mostly dead, but definitely not dead. And we have plenty in the yard to use our escape stuff. And let's go... 4, 5. Yeah, we can get this pretty big. We can get this to be a 3, 6. And then a 5, 5. 5, 5 blocks okay. Yeah, we're maybe not even mostly dead. We're maybe totally in this, is the way to look at it. Oh, wait. Sorry, I thought that was a different spell. I'm saying we're not attacking. I'm just going to play Sentinel's Eyes to have a blocker. And we'll save the favor. Can't get Rise back. And... can't really get Heliod's back, actually, either. At least I thought it through. See how I improved? Earlier in this stream, I kind of did that willy-nilly. This time, I really thought it through. Did Dionysus just badmouth the Princess Bride? Really, D? Well, if it were easier for me to time you out, I would. I think this might be it. Oh, it's absolutely in range to mute D over, but... Alright, gotta double block this thing. No, that's too big. I guess we do. Well, yeah, we only went once for one. Okay. Yeah, we do double block. Alright. I'm too busy trying to mute D. Hold on. Oh... he escaped. No, I think we need to trade here. We're not gonna sack any of these. We need the 5. Dionysus, you're barely welcome back on this stream until you have watched The Princess Bride, okay? Like... like, you might think it would be the kind of thing that would make me time you out, but actually, clearly you need our help. And so you're gonna go take care of that, right? Courser's nice. It's big anyway. All y'all have an assignment. Go watch The Princess Bride. I'm gonna make our butt big again. Let's get rid of Will, and we have multiple lamp pads, so I'm gonna get rid of one of the lamp pads. And again, don't see a reason to play the favor quite yet. I'm just gonna stick with this. Good question on deck size. We have a 10 to 17 lead, so just surviving is enough if we can survive. Daxos is going to be good for that. Do we want to favor anything yet? We put this here, we end up with a 4-2. If we favor Daxos, we end up with a 4-4. Yeah, I think Hodge is right. We're just trying to win by draining their library at this point, so we should not worry about this until it becomes a necessity. Like, soonish. Hodge is looking for an action count. We got 1 planes in exile. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 1, 2, 2 cards in hand and 8. So they probably have 5 out of 10 are of the unknown cards are likely to be land. Sorry, Oppo, I'm not trying to slow roll you or play slow. We are... we have to Mogus our Soulkeeper. Why do we have to? Yeah, Quality's design, we're not winning. Well, now we better favor something before we drop this Hound. But that's a nice draw, actually. We got some spare stuff here. Yeah, we can favor Daxos now because he'll stay at 5 when we drop the Hound. Although, yeah, if we leave him at 6, then we can block the Forerunner. If we leave Daxos alone, we can block Forerunner. So I actually like favoring the Courser. I'm going to favor the Courser. Gonna let go Hierophant and Mire's Grasp. And then we Hound it up. Oh yeah, we can't get Pegasus back. Sorry, slight mix up there, but it doesn't matter about the Mire's Grasp. If we get a chance to get removal back, we're gonna get Apathy anyway. But you're right, we're never getting Pegasus back, so we can let that go. Next chance we have. Worth sending the Hound. We get 3 life out of it, and they 1-for-1. Probably not worth it. Lizard wants to do the attacks, but we get life if stuff dies, and we get life if we block. I'm going to say no. Doesn't look like we're winning on damage. I don't think we have the air support to make that happen. Like, yeah, unfortunately my tool to look at my deck is not being accurate right now, so I don't really know what we have left in our 14 cards, but I don't think we have much to actually close out with damage here. We've got to find a way to do deck total wins. Another white card would be great. I just want Daxos to be like a 2/13 or something like that. Yeah, Lagana Band would be amazing. Let's draw that. Since Deacon has come up with the best draw, of course we're going to find it because we live in the Matrix. All right. Well, in the Matrix they have a sense of humor too. Are we dead yet? Not yet. I think they feel like they have actually inevitability here and we're the ones in trouble. They might be right. Brutal draw. Brutal draw. Is it so brutal that we need to like sack the Reaper to itself? Because we're just gonna die, right? I think we're dead. This is where if I had more time and paper, I might yeah, so let's okay, 7. They need 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. We have 23 combined power and or toughness and life. So they need like they need 23 points of trample. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 25. Yeah, they have it. We have 3 lifelink. Okay, so we're not dead. But we're basically dead, right? Yeah, Daxos has death triggers. Trouble is, even if we survive the turn, we don't survive the turn after is the problem. So I'm going to go say no attacks, but this is grim because even though we can survive this attack, if they go all out, I don't think we survive the follow-up. Four cards on library to our 12. Yeah, how about that? Like, by our count, they're basically nothing but land left at this point. All right, come on, deck. Something, Laguna Band Storyteller, make this interesting, please. Ugh, not quite. However, all we need are chumps, so we get another chance. We get to play Discordant Piper. Get some life. We get to sacrifice it to Soul Reaper. Get some life again. Still get our chump. And now do we need to do it again? With the trample, we might as well. The trouble is now if we draw again, what are we drawing? We only have 2 mana left. Well, Lizard, I keep expecting it to be GG and they keep not attacking, so... Oh, Storyteller, come on. I'm going to go full control. This would be a time to convince Oppo that we actually have something. Seems like it. Or maybe we miscounted somewhere. Oh, they figured it out. Really doesn't matter. We're just going to throw stuff around. Since it's all got trample, it doesn't really matter. We just need to absorb. Actually, what matters is absorbing as much as we can. So we got to do that and like that. Or actually, we do this. We're just dead, though, folks. Yes, we can remove the trampler, but that's very cute, but we're dead. Storyteller was a couple cards too late. If this card had been a mere 2 cards sooner, then we could have done stuff. I don't think that saves us, Rob, but I think we used the usual heuristic, which was okay, and then didn't pan out. Yeah, we're probably gonna call this. We finished a medium 3-3. Pretty exciting games, though. Some good games today, despite results that we would wish were better. Make some progress on our 4Xing. 1 mythic at any rate. Go into Soapbox. All right. Well, I wish our results were a little better, but I had a good time streaming today. Hope you had a good time hanging out. Interesting discussions, good story times. We came up with a working definition of punt, so we've closed that conversation, right? Like we never have to discuss it ever again. I think that was partly me, Jikerman. I'm a deliberate player in the best of times, but I was especially slow today. I think maybe not slow enough in some of those places where I made mistakes, but yeah, it's all good. Had a great time. Really appreciate you hanging out, and I'm going to find someone to raid. We've got Alias. No, they're not actually playing. No. Lavinius, Luis, Lord Tupperware, Jamie, Huey, all sorts of options. I could do Q&A, but I actually have a very busy afternoon, so I'm just gonna have to roll with it here. But we'll try and do some Q&A tomorrow, Nantuko. All right, I got a request for Jamie. Timnos steps up and claims the raid for Ms. Topples. Thank you all on YouTube for hanging out. As always, appreciate you making it to the very, very end of this video. I know most don't. Like, you're my dedicated YouTube viewer. You sitting here watching me say goodbye. Thank you for hanging out through the whole video. I really appreciate it. Take care. We'll see you, YouTuber.